What's up, Dr. Dean?
Good morning.
Hey, Dr. Dean, isn't that test due today?
Yep, 5 o'clock.
All right.
I thought it was due Saturday.
Did I change it to Saturday? I think you're right. Yeah. Let me check that real quick.
Yeah, I remember you said it was Saturday at 5.
Yeah, my other classes have it at Friday today because they remember to put theirs up. So, yeah, y'all's is due tomorrow at 5.
All right, bet.
Give everybody a chance to make it in. All right, so guess we will hop in here. I'm sure we'll have some stragglers. Remember to say something in chat to sign in, because that's how we're doing attendance now. Let's see. As a bit of announcement, please remember that you have your second or third test today, or it's been open this week, and it is due this Saturday at 5 p.m. So these are the 3 tests. Remember, don't open it up unless you are ready to start. And you have 75 minutes to give it a shot. So remember, the test review and everything is online on Ginzabar e-learning resources. So I'll show you all where that's at again. So go to class, resources. So this is where just about everything is. You have the old class notes, test reviews. This is the review for test number 3. Moving online is an important document you need to check out. Online tests, also good. MAT-110 lessons has all of the slideshow notes for everything that I've done, so that I will be doing in the class. So you can download those and follow along. And these are completed lesson notes from the past lessons. So yeah, again, everything pretty much that you will almost ever need right there. And then your tests right here. Okay. So as discussed, we are talking about groups of numbers. On Friday, we kind of, I'm sorry, on Wednesday, we kind of did a quick little discussion about frequency charts, and it's as simple as listing out all of your numbers and then saying how much of each number do you have. And there's a lot of information that we can get just from that. But we're going to go even further into this analysis. So we will call these measures of central tendency, which is a big fancy way of saying these are qualities that groups of numbers have. Most everyone has seen these things before. The mean, also called the average of a set of numbers, is the value found by adding the numbers in the set and then dividing that sum by the total number of things in the set. So when I take an average of all your tests, I add up everybody's grade, and then I divide it by the number of tests that we had, or the number of students who took that test. The median of a set of numbers is the middle of the set of numbers when they are listed in order. If the data set has an even number of items in it, then we will have 2 numbers that are in the middle, so we average them to find the median. The mode of a set of numbers is the number that occurs most frequently. So all three of these things are very helpful. They tell you a lot about that set of numbers. And so we can kind of take a big, sometimes huge data set, and we can tell a lot about it just by looking at these different things. These are also things that get thrown around when you hear politicians or, I mean, salesmen, anybody who talks about the average consumer or the average user or the average American or the average student. They don't always mean the literal average. Like, take that person, take all the people in the whole country, divide it by, add up all of their salaries or something, and divide it by the number. A lot of times they will mean the median salary, or even the mode, the most common one, or whether that's socioeconomic is a big place where this happens a lot. But all three of these kind of get lumped into this one average idea, but they are different, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, as an example, let's find the mean, median, and mode of this list of 11 different movie times in minutes. So, first might be helpful to list them in order. And sorry, I've got some notes that I want to use. So what is the smallest number in this list? Can anybody tell me?
88.
88. Yeah. So how many 88s are there?
2.
2.
2. Yeah, so we'll write 88, 88. What about the next largest number?
There's 3 90s.
3 90s, very good. And what about beyond that? What about after 90?
100. Oh, wait. 93. 93.
93, yep. Just one of those guys.
Then
And
100.
then a 100. And 105.
110.
110.
113. And 155.
That is a long movie. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So I've got the numbers up here. Let's go for the easy one. What is the mode?
90.
Yeah. So exactly right. The mode is 90 because there's 3 of them, and that's the thing that there are the most of. So the mode is usually the easiest one to find, especially after you've listed them. What about the about the median?
93.
93. So how do you know there's only one of them?
Say it again.
How do you know there's only one?
Because it appears in the middle.
You're right. So I'm not saying you're wrong.
Odd number.
Yeah. So because there are 11 items in the list, you know that the one in the middle, there's definitely only going to be one. And you are correct. It is 93. Now the mean
It's basically the average.
yeah, is a little bit tougher to find. If you add up all of the numbers, the way you find the mean is you sum all of the numbers, and then you divide by the number of numbers. So in this case, the sum happens to be 1122, and there are 11 different numbers. So what is 1122 divided by 11? So this is actually one you can do kind of in your heads. So this is, I'm sorry?
102.
Yeah. So you can split it up like this. So 1100 divided by 11 is 100. And then 22 divided by 11 is 2. And you are correct. The mean is 102. So it's kind of helpful to look also where the mean falls relative to these other numbers. So the mode is just below the median. And the mean is a little bit above the median. So this is something that tends to be how a lot of things get distributed. And I'll probably expand about that a little bit more, but it is very common for the mode to be less than the middle number and the mean to be above the middle number. A great example for this is salaries, people's income. So there are a lot of people who make minimum wage. So the most common number, the mode, is usually below the middle number because there's a lot of people on the bottom end. The middle number is obviously somewhere in the middle. The mean is usually above the middle number because a very select few people make a crap ton of money, make much, much, much more than just the than just a little bit over these other people. So that shifts the average above that middle number. This is what this is something that you will see in a lot of data sets. So let's try this again. So let's find the mean, median, and mode of this set of numbers. So what is the lowest number? So the lowest number in this set is 67, yeah. And there's only one of those. Next up, we have 77. And I see two of those. What's after 77?
79.
79, I agree. And just got one of those. What's after 79?
84.
84, very good. Then I see 86. And 88. And then we have, what's after 88? 91, 92.
91.
Yep. 93, kind of a little back to back. And what about after 93? Is there a 94? Yep, 95. Yep. And
98.
98, last but not least. All right, good stuff. So as with before, this is often the best way to do this to start is just to list them out. So let's do our usual ones. Mode. What number are there the most of there? So there's only one number that has more than one of itself up there.
77.
Very good. 77. Yeah. So 77 is the one that appears most often. All the other ones only have one. And what about the median? So how many numbers are there in the list? We said there was 12 students in the thing.
So you add the two middle numbers together?
Yeah. So you add, the way you do it is you divide it by the number of students by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And you're going to take these 6th and 7th numbers and average them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the median is 86 plus 88 over 2. And this is the technical way to do it, but there's a much simpler way to do it. So, especially if you have big numbers that are actually pretty close, is I take the smaller number plus the difference over 2. So what's the difference between 86 and 88?
You said you're between 86 and 88.
What's the difference between those two numbers?
4.
2. Yeah. So the difference is then 2 over 2. What is 2 over 2?
1.
Very good. So, like I said, this is the technical way to write the average, but you can also write the average as the smaller number plus the difference, or, and I don't like subtraction, but the other way you can do it is the bigger number minus the difference over 2. So in this case, 88 minus 1, which is 87. So that's a helpful little trick I find if you're having to calculate. The median is 87. All right. So what about the mean? The first thing you got to do is add up all the numbers. Hold on. So yeah, I don't know what the issue was with the login link. So initially, class was just it wasn't creating the recurring link that it was supposed to. So I was having to send out a different meeting every day for that first couple days. But the link is the same now. So don't go and press one of those earlier ones. You should be able to check your calendar. And since it's recurring, it should pop up that you have a meeting. And you can click on it, and that's the Zoom link for it.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I was doing the homework, and like it said something about like a quartile. What is a quartile?
Oh, portal?
Quartile. It says quartile. I was doing the homework, and it said it had a question about quartile. It say first quartile.
Oh,
Oh, it's like,
quartile. So we are not quite to that yet.
oh, all right.
So we will be getting there very, very shortly, probably Monday. But a quartile is you can divide up a set of numbers into quarters. So you have once you arrange it like this, it's actually a good example, real quick. So there's 12 numbers. So the first quartile is the first 3 numbers. Second quartile is the next 3. Third quartile and fourth quartile.
All right.
So that's what a quartile is. It's basically the bottom, it's the set split up into 25%. So the bottom fourth, the second fourth, the third, and the fourth. But like I said, we'll get into that a little later. So, okay. So the mean of this data set, there are 12 numbers. And does anybody know the sum, or does anybody already know the mean of them? So I think there are 10, 27. So I get about 85.58. Okay. So that is the average. So again, it's helpful to compare where these things are. The mean, the median, but right here. The mode, just because it's a small data set, the mode is way below there. And interestingly, the average, the mean, is actually a little below there. So this is on the rarer side of data sets, but it's also because it's very small. Yeah, so this is mean, median, and mode. So discussing these two, which measure, I guess, does the best job of finding the middle of the data set? So mean, median, and mode. In the first one, and this is what I kind of what I was talking about at the beginning, where different data sets kind of mean different things. So I'll compare it to the ones we had for the first set, which are mode was 90. Median was 93, and mean was 102. So we're trying to get an idea of what accurately describes the data set. And the first one, we saw that the median was 93 and the mean was 102. So in this case, in the first case, the median actually does a better job because it is right in the middle. The issue with the first set is that 155 number did what is called skewing the data set. If you have one number that's just like totally different than everybody else, that causes the average to shift really bad one way or the other. But what it doesn't affect is it doesn't affect the median. If you got one really big number, it doesn't matter if that number is a little bit bigger than everybody else or a bunch, doesn't matter. So in this case, the median is actually better. But in the second one, these two are very close to each other. So if they are very close, if the mean and the median are both similar, then it's usually best to include the mean because it includes everything. It compares all of the data to all of the rest of the data. So this one is better because it includes all. But we can use it because it's not that different from the median. So that's the big kind of, I guess, difference between the two. Is if you have a single outlier, like that 155 was, that can mess the mean up a lot, but it doesn't have much effect on the median. So if your median is way off, I'm sorry, if your mean is way off, that means that you probably have a couple pieces of data that are just wrong or don't make any sense. Otherwise, you have you'll generally use the mean or the average. Okay. So this is just some basic qualities of data sets. This is what we're going to play with. So yeah, we've got like a minute left. So guys, remember you have a test that closes this Saturday at 5 p.m. And you have a couple chances to attempt it. So please make sure you do at least one. And if you have any questions about the rules for test stuff, then that is up on e-learning. So, well, you guys have a fabulous rest of your day and weekend. And good luck if you haven't done your test yet. All right. Y'all have a good night.